Got another episode of What's New Wednesday coming up. It is May the 1st, 2024, and we got lots to talk about. The BIGTIME token has continued to dip along with the rest of the crypto market. BIGTIME has patch point 3.0 coming, as we all know now, and they have clarified more details about the wipe. We'll talk about that. BIGTIME has come out with new Craftable Special crafting event and Craft a Shield. There are weekly crafting challenges to go over. There's a contest happening right now. All existing rentals will no longer renew with discount codes, so that's fun. BIGTIME released a new patch yesterday. The last thing we're going to be talking about is they introduced this thing called BIGTIME Token Holder VIP program. Kind of interesting. And of course, we have our fourth midweek madness to finish up. Okay, so BIGTIME token price. Last week, we were around here. We had this big blip, and we weren't really sure if it was a fake out or not. We said it seemed like it was, and it looks like it's most likely going to continue going down. We said that last week. It did, in fact, continue going down. We don't know exactly how far it will keep going, but if we take a look at Bitcoin here, Bitcoin also took a huge dive since last week, and yesterday it took a huge dive. So not too much surprise there. I think that the token price will keep going down until Bitcoin stops going down, right? And if we take a look at Bitcoin's daily, it still has quite a ways to go down on the 200 EMA. I think it'll probably bounce off of here. So I expect to see the Bitcoin go down to about 52K, and it probably will crab along there for a while. That's my guess. What does that mean for BIGTIME? You know, BIGTIME doesn't have a 200-day EMA line right now, but right now we're basically trending along the bottom of where we've ever seen the token go, right? Like when the token first came out, it sort of bounced around like between 12 cents and 20 cents. And I kind of expect BIGTIME to continue doing that a little bit, but there's nothing saying that it could go down below uncharted territory. We could see the token go down, in my opinion, anywhere as low as 4 cents before we see it recover. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. There's not a whole lot to say other than that. BIGTIME token will probably continue to go down and bounce between 12 to 14 cents and like 20 cents for a little bit. But if Bitcoin keeps going down, like I expect it to, then BIGTIME might keep going down. So we might be seeing token prices cheaper than we've ever seen before. So that's the token price. Moving on next. So before I published my last video from last week on Friday the 26th, I added a little update confirming that cracked hourglasses, schematics, and mod chips will in fact be wiped, which came as a huge shock to me along with many others. We've seen public outcry from whales and normal players alike. There's this post by Steve Woody calling BIGTIME scammers. So he said, yes, 100% scammers. He's very upset with the game. It's a very long, big post with lots and lots of back and forth. You guys can go ahead and read it as much as you want, but honestly, I think it was an overreaction by Steve Woody. So anyways, yeah, that's what Steve Woody said. He was just basically fighting his own bags. He's very upset that they're wiping stuff, and to be honest, seemed like an overreaction, and it kind of made people have a little bit of a misconception about what they were going to be wiping. So they made this post on Twitter and in Discord, giving more details about the wipe. Let's read this word for word. We noticed some confusion around the upcoming changes in patch point 3.0 and want to clarify, while your existing inventory of cracked hourglasses will be wiped, just like any other non-crypto elements that are wiped from every single reset, the game mechanic of cracked hourglasses being an in-game loot drop with your personal metaverse is not going away. It will remain active after the character data reset wipe, and you will continue to have a chance to find and loot these in your space. So hourglasses aren't going away. They're still going to be dropping. They just are wiping them, and then you'll be able to loot them again. Additionally, regarding the character data reset, we have had several of these throughout early access. This step is necessary in the development process as it allows us to implement significant updates and improvements as we build out the game. We strive to conduct these resets as infrequently as possible and always provide advanced warnings for you to prepare. Rest assured that your open loot and blockchain assets such as NFTs, BIGTIME, and premium currencies, time crystals, and cosmetic shards are secure and will not be affected by the wipe. These assets exist outside of the game's core system by design. Finally, we want to remind remind you that no in-game items have been wiped yet. The wipe has not happened yet. Some people were saying that the wipe was like already happening. We are providing these updates and warnings in advance so you have time to spend your mod chips, dismantle cracked hourglasses, and craft using your schematics before the wipe occurs. We will continue to update you with specific timings and provide additional warnings as we approach the actual implementation date of the wipe. Thank you all for your continued support and understanding as we work to make Big Time the best experience it can be. Stay tuned for more updates. Okay, so pretty self-explanatory. I think it was important to read that in the video and on the stream because there's been a lot of FUD. So my opinion is that as long as people have time to craft their schematics, use their mod chips, and dismantle their hourglasses, this is fine. The reality is that the game items do always get wiped with resets, and my only concern is the reset happening in the middle of like a Stygian crafting event. For example, those Stygian schematics are really hard to come by, and I'm gonna be pissed off if I spend thousands of big time on schematics and then I'm not able to craft the Stygian items. But otherwise, you know, it is pretty normal for the reset to happen and items to get reset. So moving on. So last Friday, the 26th, Big Time also announced a new crafting event. So this is a new crafting event. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of like the same crafting event as all the craftable specials and stuff like that. But you can craft this rare shield. There's no schematic required for it. And then once that's fully crafted out, they'll unlock the next craftable item. But it'll also unlock a hidden event craftable buff, like a global buff. So that's kind of interesting. That's new. Never done that before. And it looks like the final item will unlock hidden prestige portal buff that lasts 3 days. So that's kind of new, a new little twist to it all. So I'm kind of curious to know what the next things are to craft here. Next up, we have the weekly crafting challenges. They're not anything too exciting this week. Complete 5 daily bounties for 1,500 leaderboard points. Complete or refine 5 infused lattice to get 6,000 leaderboard points. If you're already trying to do like the leaderboard long challenges where you have to refine a bunch of cosmetic shards, then this might be a good time to do that. You get 6,000 points for that. Dismantle 20 cracked hourglasses for a reward of 1,000 leaderboard points. Super measly amount of points, and I feel like a lot of people will be accomplishing this anyways because they're all freaking out and dismantling their glasses. Okay, next we have this emote contest. It's pretty straightforward. You can submit your idea for an emote in the contest section in the Discord. There's going to be up to 20 emotes that will be chosen. And if your emote is chosen, it'll actually get turned into an emote and will be available for sale and all that stuff. There doesn't really seem to be any kind of reward though, other than clout. You can be like, yeah, I came up with that emote idea. So if you want to do that, that goes until the 5th and the votes will be counted on the 7th. Okay, next. Last week, we mentioned that Big Time had disabled the rental discounts, most likely to squash remaining farmers and things that's going on. But once again, regular players are kind of being affected by this, but what are we going to do about it, right? It had to happen. Anyways, yesterday, the 30th of April, they made it so that if you had a discounted rental, it would not renew with the discount. This was to try and be fair and make sure that everybody was equally affected by this change, which is, I think, super kind of them. If you are watching this in the future, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. I'm kind of curious to know what everyone's thinking about this. Also, yesterday, the 30th, there was a patch that just came out. Some interesting changes here that I think we need to talk about. They made it so that the Scarecrow quest now has a much bigger reward, and it includes an exclusive schematic that you can loot. It's a bit more difficult and costs big time to activate. And they also added this thing called the VIP drop bonus, which will be applied for players who hold a certain amount of big time in their open loot account. So we will talk about that right now. They made some other bug fixes, but nothing really to note. And the servers were just down, and looks like they've rolled out a quick fix for that. They fixed some epox chest stuff. Next, so we are going to talk about about this VIP program. They put out a Medium article, so we'll take a quick peek at that. They made this VIP program, and it's kind of neat. So if you hold a certain amount of big time, you get certain benefits. What are the benefits? Right now, there is an inherent bonus roll that gets applied for high-level prestige portals for VIPs. So if you are a VIP, you might have, like, right now, the inherent bonus roll is you get more big time tokens from boss chests, with the quantity depending on the player's VIP tier. So what are the tiers and how much big time do you need to hold? This is where it's like, okay, in order to be in the common tier, you need to be holding 25,000 big time tokens, and to be in the legendary tier, you need to be holding 200,000 big time tokens. That is a lot of tokens. So this is something that really is only going to be benefiting a very small subset of players, but it should hopefully incentivize whales to play the game more, which is good in my opinion. And yeah, it is what it is. Who knows, if the token goes down to a few pennies a token, then maybe it'll be worth it to buy a giant bag and equip it, or keep it in your open loot account. They also, in that same announcement, announced the midweek madness for this week. This is very related to the Scarecrow event that's happening. The fourth midweek madness event is upon us. It goes until May the 3rd, which is 2 days from now. So now complete a Scarecrow in-game event by opening Scarecrow box to earn a significant amount of leaderboard points. 3x leaderboard points. For how much leaderboard points that is, probably not a whole lot, but you get 3 times it. The Scarecrow is a special in-game event that can spawn during any portal run. Currently, Scarecrows are primarily found in deserts and forests. Once players complete the event, a Scarecrow box will appear that has a wide range of rewards, including a special Scarecrow schematic that can be used to craft. The schematic is called Amethyst's Hexal Shield, and there's about 400 of them left to craft based on today. So if you do want to craft one of these, you better hurry up. Probably will be crafted out by like Friday. If you are watching this in the future and you didn't know about this, well, you missed out. Anyways, that is it, guys, for What's New Wednesday this week. If you guys are watching this in the future, like, follow, subscribe, comment, and as always, don't forget to tell your moms about it. And I will see you guys next